Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from. Salutations, much love, and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Now, I had to make a video on this. I'm just waking up not too long ago, but I had to do a video on the video that Elder Malcolm made. Okay, it's a great video because it's exposing the hypocrisy and the fact that Esau is being exposed in these last days. Okay, because Esau was able to go around the earth and just say race card and that's a lie, check the statistics. He was able to push every means of deception out there to hide the truth. And you have to understand, you can't go just based off of Esau's statistics. Esau's statistics is skewed, okay, for his own narrative. For example, down south, there'll be, not even just down south, around the world, there'll be Jakes that get killed and put to death by other Edomites, and they'll mark that as a suicide. Even to this day, they do that. They mark it as the person offed himself. And the Jakes family, like, we know he didn't off himself. The facts the evidence shows that he didn't off himself, but they'll put that there because they don't care about you, Jakes. So when you look at the statistics, Edomites only destroy Israelites such and such amount of times. Okay, so you can't just go off of Esau's statistics. You have to look at reality. Look at what Esau is really about, man. All right. There's a video in the Ukraine of how they're not letting those Africans on the train. And I might pull up that video after this, but there's a video of them. They're not letting them Africans on the train. Okay. And they're showing blatant racism. They're letting on all the Edomite looking people, all the so-called white people, the blonde hair, but even if they don't have blonde hair, all the so-called white people, they're letting on the train. They're not asking if they're Ukrainians. They're just letting them on the train. But they're seeing them Jakes. They don't care if you were born there or not. They're not letting you on the train because of your skin color. You see? So Esau's showing you the natural, how these Edomites in America feel. They wish they could do that. But according to the laws, so-called, they're not able to do that, right? So-called, quote unquote. But if you go to speak to those Edomites at the dinner table, you'll see how they truly feel about you, man. Let me get this real quick. I'm speaking a lot, but let me get this. This is Psalm 73 in verse in verse 6. It says, therefore, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 5. It says, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Meaning what? They do the same crimes, and Jake will get a longer sentence, man. We see many of those examples. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. Where's your proof? They're always dealing with proof because they done skewed the information, man. That's why they don't want to teach critical race theory, which they call critical race theory, which is really just critical race historical facts, as the elder Malcolm says. All right. They don't want to teach that because that would expose them. So they're not going to expose themselves. They're not going to put out the true 100% statistics, man. That would be exposing themselves. So they deal with all these technicalities. Well, technically, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. Okay? Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment. And we see what they've done all around the earth. All right? Iraq, Afghanistan. And the worst thing they've done was what they did to you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. That was the greatest form of violence, man. Okay? The biggest murder that you ever seen. Okay? The mass murder that you ever seen. That was done to you Israelites, man. Okay? Even to this day, they're poisoning your water supply. All right? Flint. They had a scientist come out and say that they actually purposely put that water in Flint, man. So that's violence, okay? Them different experiments that they did, injecting Jakes with different things and experimented on Jake. And don't think that's stopped. Don't think they're not still doing those type of things, man. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. These elites. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. What does that mean? That means you tell them about, their wickedness. That's race card. Oh, they're victim mentality. They got all these shaming words, which basically Esau and the woman is very similar. I've said this multiple times. Esau and the woman is very similar, man. Okay? The woman wiping her mouth, say she done the wickedness. Esau does the same thing. And if you try to bring it up against him, he'll put shaming words. He'll shame you for trying to accuse him, man. For trying to bring up the truth. Say you're lazy. You always blame everyone for your problems. But he's the biggest complainer on the planet Earth. Something happens to Esau, he doesn't shut up about it. That's why you got 9/11. They're still they're still remembering 9/11. Oh, remember the Alamo, remember this, remember that. But when you remember the wickedness that he did, which was way worse than all of that, just get over it. You see? Because he's a fugitive, man. So they speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily, meaning they speak proudly. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth, right? Their philosophy. So you got Jakes. You know how bad their lies are and their hypocrisy is? That you have even Israelites that are so cooned out that they say, right? They have Israelites like this that say there's no such thing as racism. Jakes, dark-skinned people walking around the earth telling you there's no such thing as racism. That's strong delusion. That's their tongue walking throughout the earth, because they're following after Esau's ways. They're following what the information that Esau is giving them. Well, according to the statistics, whites and blacks get killed. Matter of fact, Edomites get killed more. Come on, bro. Let's be real. Let's be real. Who's these police targeting, man? Let's be real. There's a reason they made for a crack rock. They made it. You go to jail for much more time than cocaine, because they understand that Edomites deal with cocaine and Jake deal with crack rock. They call crack cocaine the poor man's cocaine. All right. So why are they giving you more time for something that's the poor man's cocaine than the actual pure substance that they're benefiting from? They're benefiting from all that to begin with. So these Edomites, I'm glad these Edomites are being exposed, man. Therefore, Salakia, I'm glad these people are being exposed. Let me play the video from Elder Malcolm, man, so you can see what I'm talking about, man.
Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Awashai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like the heathen. And to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson. And this one is it's gonna pretty much speak for itself. I'm going to read a couple more scriptures and then just let her speak. So and then read some scriptures at the end. So this is
Salaki. I'm just gonna skip to the part where she speaks. I just want to get to that part specifically. Although he brings out some excellent scriptures, I want to hold on here. Okay, here we go. Because you Edomites are being exposed, man. This is the time of Esau being exposed. I've been putting up prayers that Esau be exposed. Okay. Because we're tired of the lies. We're tired of the fake statistics. All right. Because you run the media.
In Ukraine, you've seen how the world is responding. Now let me show you how the world is covering this invasion. I'm talking about the media, especially Western channels. How are they covering Russia's invasion? With blatant racism. Let me say something at the outset. As journalists, we do not filter hardships and pain. We do not see caste, color, or gender. And we have stuck by this principle. When the Taliban stormed Kabul, we stood with Afghans. When Ethiopia attacked its own people, we questioned them. When unarmed black teenagers were gunned down in the US, we joined the outrage. Today we are doing the same. We see the plight of the Ukrainian people and we have reported on their hardships. But what about the Western media? They too are reporting on the crisis, on the war, on the refugees. But they do not see hardships. They only see race, the color of your skin, the color of your hair. Let me show you exhibit number 1. This exchange happened on the BBC, the so-called Guardian of Unbiased Reportage. Listen to how their panel describes the refugees from Ukraine.
It's very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed.
People with blue eyes and blonde hair. That is why the so-called expert on the BBC is emotional, not because the people are homeless, not because their country is being invaded, but because their hair is blonde. On social media, a lot of people are defending the BBC. They say it's a guest, not their anchor. Let me take you back to September last year. Another guest was speaking on the very same channel, South Asian expert Christine Fair. She called out Pakistan's links with the Taliban. Do you remember what the BBC presenter did? She shut her down. She said it was violating the channel's unbiased coverage. So exposing terror links is a violation. Blatant racism and white supremacy is fine. Gold standard indeed. Now for exhibit number 2, NBC News from the US. Listen to this.
These are not refugees from Syria. These are Christians, they're white, they're very similar.
Very similar to us. How so? Because the Syrian refugees are Muslims, their skin is darker, their hair is not blonde. So Europe does not want them. And remember, this is not being said at some white supremacy cult. This is happening on live television. Exhibit number 3, CBS News, another American broadcaster.
Right, because they put that that so-called white supremacy cult as if that's the only way a person could be racist. Well, I'm not part of the KKK. Listen, man, you Edomites, inside of you is where the racism lies. It's not about you being part of the KKK. These people are great. Let me show you something about Esau. Esau is a great actor. Okay, Esau can smile with you, tap you on the back, eat popcorn with you, and go home and call you all type of N-words, and I hope all them darkies die, and he could do that. And they do that all the time. Them Edomites you work with, those Edomites around the corner, they could act cool with you. And they could go back home and speak all kind of ill about you. And I know for a fact, because I know certain Jakes, thinking about this one cool Jake that looks like he looks like an Edomite, but his father's a light-skinned black person. Those are the kind of Jakes you can ask how them Edomites really feel about you when they get around and they think that they're like them and they hear the type of stuff they say. They always say hateful things, right? So that's a part of East. That's embedded in Esau, okay? When young Jakes are getting together, they're not thinking about Edomites. They're not thinking about the next joke that they could make about an Edomite or hoping all them Edomites get put to death. No, they're not thinking like that. But when you hear these Edomites behind closed door and there's a tape recorder like that particular judge, how them roaches out there, you see what I'm saying? So that's how Esau really feels. This is Psalms 55 and verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So in his mind, he wants to destroy you. Okay? Oh, the scriptures say, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. Okay? So Esau could come with that sweet talk. But us in the know, we know what's up. We know the truth. We know what Esau really feels, man. Okay? You understand? It's you simple-minded Jakes that are into that plantation Christianity that don't get it, man. You don't understand. You don't get it. All right? Don't tell us, yeah, we get it. No, you do not get it. Okay? You still think that because they smile at you and say how they love everybody, you actually believe they mean that. Esau's a hypocrite. What does the word hypocrite mean? It means an actor. All right? Hypocrite means actor. Okay? This is Job 17:8. It says, upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite. You see? So now we're starting to expose the hypocrite, man. This is Job 34:30, that the hypocrite reign not. Matter of fact, let me start at 29. It says, when he giveth quietness, who then can make trouble? And when he hideth his face, who then can behold him? Whether it be done against a nation, right? The nation of Edom. See, so he's judging you as a nation because he can do that. Or against a man only. That the hypocrite reign not, lest the people be ensnared. And there's all kind of snares and traps, right? I.e. the juice. That was a snare. That was a trap. Okay? This debt-based system, that was a trap. The Federal Reserve itself was a trap. Okay? These credit cards, they got all kind of credit cards for you when you get to college. Why? Is it because they love you and they just want to make sure you have all the best, all the best? No, they do that so that they can ensnare you. They can entrap you because they're nothing but a hypocrite. This is a hypocritical nation. Okay? You see, when it spoke about hypocritical nation in the scriptures, it was speaking about Jake. But Esau is way more of a hypocrite than Jake. It's not even Jake's spirit to be that much of a hypocrite. All right? I'm telling you, Esau can smile in your face and tap you on the back and eat popcorn with you and go and have dinner with his family and speak about how he hopes you drop dead. He hopes all of you drop dead. Okay? That's how Esau is. This is Proverbs 11:9. It says, an hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Right? How is he destroyed with his mouth? Because he has his policies, right? His different legislations, his accusations, right? The accuser. Let's get that. Revelations. Let's get Revelations 12 and verse 10. And it says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. And they're constantly accusing us. Constantly. That's why they have Jakes doing all this wickedness. All right? Jake is the face of all things wicked in this world. Okay? Transformers, alphabet people. They always put Jake's face on it. All these different artists popping up with dresses on. And they always seem to be Jake. I never seen a Ben Affleck just in a dress. Maybe he did. All right? But I never seen it. I never seen Tom Cruise in a dress. I never seen Richard Gere, although he's a freak. I never seen him in a dress. Okay? But I see Kid Cudi, these tough, hardcore rappers in dresses. And these different actors. Okay? What's that actor's name that plays in the Judas and the Black Messiah? He was in a dress just recently in high heels. So listen, man, this is an agenda. This is him accusing us. Not to mention he's setting up all kind of propaganda against the men of the Lord, the Israelites. All right? He's ready to destroy with his lips. Let's get Psalms the 64th chapter. And then I'm gonna continue the video. This is Psalm 64. And by the way, Lord willing, I'll remember to put this video in the from the Elder Malcolm in the description box. Okay, this is Psalm 64. In verse 2, it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Okay, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. You see, he's about moving in secret. He's about deception. Okay, about stabbing you and hiding his hands. That's what he's about. He's not about being overt. Okay, he's not about. See, Jake is overt. Jake will pour out his whole heart, so you know everything Jake is about, because Jake don't know how to shut up sometimes. Okay, which is not wise, especially when you're dealing with your enemy. But Esau will hold his tongue and listen. Okay, and move with deceit. Don't forget, it said that the serpent was more subtle than all the beasts of the field, man. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Let's give you an example. Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sanger. All right. They were on the low. They wanted to exterminate you Jakes. And they put in their neighborhood as what? As they were coming to help. And basically they put the love banner over that Planned Parenthood. Oh, just all about love. And we know you don't have the means to take care of a child, so we're just doing this out of love. Matter of fact, it's free. So they came with that love. They always come to you Jakes with love, so called. But deep down, what was it about? It was about taking you Jakes out. And now look at it. The so-called black woman is the top person to delete their children, man. And the numbers are astronomical. You're worried about gang violence and all this? That's nothing. That's how you Jakes are really dying based upon them deletions, man. Okay? It says they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Okay, especially these elites, they think deep on how to destroy you Jakes. Don't forget, they want to do away with the nation of Israel. They want to do away with the true Israelites. All right? They destroyed the Taínos till there was about 400 men left. Okay, went from millions to 400. So that's showing you what type of hate, and it's the Lord who preserved them. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai who preserved them. If it wasn't for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we would have been destroyed and exterminated a long time ago. So you devils got a lot to pay for, man. So I'm going to continue with this.
Their reporter is appalled by the war, not because there is death and destruction, but because it is happening in Europe.
Now, like Iraq or Afghanistan, this is a relatively civilized, relatively European city where you wouldn't expect that or hope that it's going to happen.
So Iraq and Afghanistan are uncivilized countries. Their people are uncultured. Their regimes are irresponsible. So they deserve war. They deserve hundreds of bombs and years of occupation. What about Ukraine? According to CBS, no. Ukraine does not deserve war or hardships because Ukraine is civilized. And now for the final exhibit. This one is not from the West. It is from Al Jazeera in Qatar. This anchor simply cannot comprehend the idea of European refugees.
What's compelling is just looking at them, the way they're dressed. These are prosperous, I'm loath to use the expression, these are prosperous middle-class people. These are not obviously refugees trying to get away from areas in the Middle East.
And by the way, they weren't letting the so-called black people on these trains to go to Poland, man. They weren't letting them on the train. So that's blatant racism, okay? So regardless of how you try to paint it, oh yeah, they're trying to set... start a race war, whatever the case is. Listen, man, this is actually in Esau's heart, man. All right, this is how Esau really thinks. The average Edomite thinks like this. Okay, they think about the Edomite countries as those people being more valuable than the ones of the other nations. That's how they look at it. All right. And talking about civilized, you Edomites are the exact opposite of civilized. Look at your history. Look what you've done on the planet Earth. And you want to talk about civilized, man. Gad was civilized. Gad was trying to civilize you. And you destroyed them. Okay?
This is utterly and totally disgusting.
Don't make me pull out the scrolls from Planets of the Eight, man. Right? The harbinger of death. Okay? He would destroy your home and his own, and roughly paraphrasing, man. Them scrolls was cutting Esau. All right.
They're trying to get away from areas in the Middle East are areas that were fine before the self-proclaimed white man set his foot in them.
Facts.
Before his policy began to be pushed in them.
Mm-hmm.
This is Psalms 36:2. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes until his iniquity be found to be hateful.
Woo.
And so the world is seeing how hateful and how sick, the pale male, these Edomites really are.
It's beautiful. And that scripture was fantastic, man. He flattereth himself in his own eyes. He bigs himself up. He actually believes his own hype. He starts hype and lies about himself, and he goes and he actually believes it. All right? Like, he's civilized. Come on, bro. You Edomites are drinking blood right now. There's a whole... Listen, man, don't get me started, man. You Edomites are eating raw steak tartare. Okay? You're talking about how it's beneficial to bathe once a week. Literally YouTube channels of Edomites speaking about that. Right? Britney Spears said how she don't like to brush her teeth because she don't like the way it feels. So you Edomites are not civilized. You Edomites are real beasts. Okay? And it's gonna be exposed, man. And I'm so happy that this is out here. And I hope more comes out. I hope more of them start showing their overt racism, because this is how these Edomites truly feel. So with that, Lord willing, you were edified through the Spirit. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahak Wadash, and Shalom.